Hello, everybody. It's your boy Justin with this year's March Martial Arts Madness Month finale. Uh, this year we started off with a Jet Li film, so this year we're ending with a Jet Li film, right? It's like poetry, it rhymes. Which I initially wanted to do this movie for the finale, right? And this movie I actually was the whole reason why I did martial arts madness month this year, because I got back into watching listening to movie podcasts, right? Even though sometimes it's infuriating, these movie podcasts, because you know they have this elitism where they like the film student critics think they're better than the rest of us, and it's like nobody is more nobody is more of fits the saying, those who can't teach more than film students. Okay. They're the living embodiment of that saying, because how many film critic YouTubers went on to make their own movies, and their movies are hot garbage. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. So film students are honestly, I like some of my favorite movie critics are film students, but come on. Okay. Don't BS with that. Okay, with that crap, okay? With your fake elitism BS. Oh, so what? You know the technical aspects of movie making. Who cares? Yeah. Red Letter Media talks about the technical aspects of movie making when they do reviews. That didn't stop them from making a cheap piece of shit when they made Space Cop, okay? Which is one of the technically worst pieces of shit movies, on a technical aspect. Maybe for your first movie, don't do a genre film, okay? So yeah, today we're reviewing what is probably my favorite Jet Li film of all time, Hero. And the reason why I wanted to discuss this film, because I learned recently, bring back to the topic I was talking about, that while listening to a movie podcast, they were talking about, how modern Hong Kong / Chinese films Chinese films suck nowadays because they're all propaganda films. Okay, and they gave this one as an example, and I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? I love this movie. This is one of my favorite movies, right? Which the movie is directed by Zhang Yimou, who did such films as he did what was it? He did Shadow, 2018 Shadow. He did House of Flying Daggers. He did that piece of shit, The Great Wall, but that wasn't his fault. That was Matt Damon's fault. Okay. Yeah, he's done some of my favorite, wuxia films, which is House of Flying Daggers and this film. And Shadow was a good movie also, right? And the movie stars Jet Li as Nameless, Donnie Yen as Sky, though Donnie Yen's only in the first 20 minutes of the, actually less than that. He's after the 16-minute mark, he's gone. You have Maggie Cheung as Flying Snow, Zhang Ziyi as Moon, Tony Young as Broken Sword, and Chen Doaming as the Quinn Emperor. And cinematography by Christopher Doyle, it's a good thing that I went back to rewatch this film, because there are certain movies I've watched recently that came out before this film that I could tell that this movie was inspired by, which is one of my most favorite wuxia films of all time. Even though I don't think I gave it that great of a score, I probably should have. Which was which was Ashes of Time, which this Christopher Doyle, who's I think he's an Australian cinematographer, also did the cinematography of you know, of Ashes of Time, and you have 2 stars from this movie were also stars of Ashes of Time. Which, if you haven't seen Ashes of Time, check it out. You can rent it on YouTube, right? I think I bought it for like less than $10 off YouTube, right? So, since this is one of my favorite movies of all time, I really want to spoil the whole fucking thing, right? So I can talk about it in detail, but I'll save that after I give a brief synopsis and my thoughts on the movie. So the movie is about a nameless hero played by Jet Li, who was an orphan who dedicated his life to the sword and became like kind of like a cop, right? And he takes down 3 legendary assassins, right? So he can meet the Queen Emperor, right? Who the Queen Emperor is the, spoiler alert if you never if you're a Kingdom fan, which this is the Queen Emperor of the Queen King from Kingdom is this is like the same character, right? So if you never seen if you want to read Kingdom or watch the Kingdom anime, which in my opinion it's still worth watching despite the terrible CGI, you're gonna want to stop listening now. So 9 out of 10, I love this movie, right? But yeah, like it's the same character, and he our main character kills the 3 legendary assassins of Zhao, which Zhao was the main rival of Quinn in the Kingdom anime and manga, right? Which, you know, the Queen Emperor wasn't the main character, but he was one of the main characters, right? So our main character, Nameless, kills, you know, Sky, Flying Snow, and Broken Sword so he can go and meet the Queen Emperor, right? And during his meeting with the Queen Emperor, he recounts the events that led to his meeting, where he tells him each encounter he had with the 3 assassins, right? Which is, Sky is played by Donnie, who has a silver spear, right? Where they have a fight in like tea house where people play chess, and you have like the couple Flying Snow, which is played by Maggie Cheung, who has like a white hilt sword, and you have Broken Sword, who's played by Tony Young, which Flying Snow and Broken Sword are a couple, and he has a broken sword that actually looks like a really cool broadsword, right? And he retells his story of how he each defeated these warriors, and because of that, he gets granted a special audience with the Queen Emperor, right? And where he gets to have a drink with him and gets given land and titles, right? And money, of course, right? But during this encounter, we basically get shown multiple versions of the same events, right? Including like the same sword fights, which these sword fights in the movie, the cinematography, the cinematography is awesome actually, but the choreography with the fights are great. The costumes are great. The weapons look cool. Like the cinematography, the settings, like everything is awesome with this movie. It's like they took the best parts of Ashes of Time, but delivered where Ashes of Time kind of like, you know, petered out with didn't deliver, which was you have all these great swordsmen, but there weren't that many fights in Ashes of Time. Here you get lots of fights in the movie, right? Yeah. And the music is beautiful, right? So yeah, and there is a clever twist to this film that I did not see coming the first time I watched the movie, right? Yeah, so I should mention that there's a twist to this movie. So if you're gonna check out other reviews and other, like, Letterboxd or whatever, be careful, right? And I should mention the reason why Jet Li has a katana on the cover of the movie and doesn't have a katana in the actual movie. He has a katana on the poster and on the cover is because Quentin Tarantino got this movie released in the West, right? He was a huge fan of this movie, to the point where there's even like a 14-minute interview between Jet Li and Quentin Tarantino on the Blu-ray, maybe on the DVD too. I don't remember, right? And because Quentin Tarantino had the Kill Bill movies at the time, that's probably why on the cover they gave, like, Jet Li a katana, right? So yeah, which the only movie I can think of where he actually uses a katana is in that war movie where he fights the Yakuza, right? Which he's supposed... I'm not going to spoil the twist of that. But that movie, he's supposed to be American, but he has the Chinese accent. So it's like, yeah, so that... oh my god, yeah. So yeah, I'm going to go into spoilers. But like I said, 9 out of 10. Fuck the people who say this movie sucks because of whatever bullshit. I don't even know why. I've seen this movie. I watch this movie every few years, and I still am captivated by the movie just by the visuals alone, right? And the acting is fucking amazing, dude. Amazing, right? Holy shit. So I'm gonna go to spoilers, but yeah, the movie. What the movie is really about is that our main character, Nameless, which you can tell, just like how Ashes of Time had like a kind of a Western feel with that movie, you have a Western feel in this movie where they give the people generic names that are like nicknames, right? And then there's obviously some of the duels in the movie felt like, they were very much inspired by spaghetti westerns in general, like Sergio Leone films, right? Yeah, which fuck. I know, like, fucking Razorfist says he likes Sergio Sergio Leone, and he said he likes spaghetti westerns in the past, but he did a video lately that he was like he shit on spaghetti westerns. But I thought you loved spaghetti westerns. What the fuck, man? I only watch, I very rarely watch a western that's not a spaghetti western, unless it's like a modern western, or if it's critically acclaimed, and I'll check it out, like something like John Wayne did, right? Or Clint Eastwood. Yeah, so yeah, what the movie is actually about is Nameless is actually from Zhao originally, whose parents were killed by the Qin army, and he was brought in and raised by Qin family. And once he found that out, he dedicated his life, 10 years of his life, to assassinate the king of Qin. And he developed this special move, which you see in the movie, where he's able to accurately kill anybody within 10 paces, right? So he comes up with this plan, right, to where he meets with Sky, Flying Snow, and Broken Sword, and he goes to them like, yeah, pretend to lose to me in a fight, and I'll give you what looks like a killing blow, but I'll actually miss your vital organs. Do this for me, and I'll be able to have a meeting with the king of Quinn, right? So I can assassinate him. So that's the real premise of the story of the movie, where Jet Li wants to kill the king of Quinn, and the king of the Quinn. Sorry, the king of Quinn is able to deduce that he's actually there to kill him, right? But when it came for Jet Li to actually do it, he hesitates, and he's like, "Why do you hesitate?" And Jet Li tells him the true series of events, right? Because in the beginning of the movie, you get the fake series of events that Jet Li tells the king, and you have like a series of events that the Queen of King deduces, where you see everything again, and then you have the final one where like Jet Li tells him, "Oh, actually, what did happen?" Right? Where when he was able to get Sky to agree to lose to him, but when it became to Flying Snow and Broken Sword, he finds out that 3 years ago, Flying Snow and Broken Sword could have killed the king, right, in their attempts, but because of Broken Sword, they didn't, right? Because Broken Sword, while fighting the king of Quinn, realized that the Queen of King is not a tyrant, but he actually has a master plan right? To better help the people of China as a whole, right? So that's where it kind of, that's probably where people got the idea, all that this movie's propaganda, right? Which I disagree with that statement. And even if the movie is a piece of art regardless. And this is like Zhang Yimou's best movie. So, I mean, I haven't seen all of his movies, but in my opinion, of the Zhang Yimou movies I've seen, this is still the best one. And I love it, and I recommend everybody go see it. So that's it for this year's March Martial Arts Madness Month